sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 6 Vegas spread picks. And listen, we're going to have another big week. Week 5, we were 4-1 on YouTube. And I hear you guys, I will get a haircut. I was just too busy counting my money yesterday. Money, money, money. Let's go Thursday night football. We got the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. Broncos plus 10.5. I got the Broncos to cover, Chiefs to win. There isn't a lot of science here. Listen, Travis Kelce banged up. Chiefs receiving core, Rashid Rice, Kadarius Toney, they look absolutely horrific. And you do wonder, does this Broncos defense respond? I just don't like the Chiefs in these big spreads. This is like a 3-4 year trend for me. I'm staying away from it. And listen, I do have to say one thing. Broncos offense is better than people think, but I honestly want you guys to take a deep breath and think, this Broncos defense might be the worst defense we've seen in a generation. Certainly it passes the eye test, and I'm sure the stats prove it. I'm going Broncos to cover, backdoor, Chiefs to win. Please don't bet this one. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. The Bears. Vikings are minus 2.5. Money, money, money. Money, my Vikings to win in the cover. And we only hit the Vikings once this season, and it was against Carolina. This is the type of games I like them in. First, let's start with the bad news. Justin Jefferson is out, but I'll give you some good news right now. The Chicago secondary is absolutely decimated, and we believed in the Bears last week when no one did. And I think the Bears will make us sweat for this bet. I don't think it's easy. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but that Bears secondary down to third and fourth stringers against Addison, Hawkinson, and Kirk Cousins. I think the Vikings just move the ball better, and I also don't know if Fields is ready for the Flores blitz. I like Fields more than most people, but one thing I think we can all agree on is he does struggle with the blitz. Flores keeps him in the pocket. Vikings win the damn game in Soldier Field. Make it a money pick. It won't be easy, but like I said, Vikings will pull this out. This is the type of teams they play well against. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens. Steelers at the Tennessee Titans. Titans are plus 4.5. Titans to cover, Ravens to win. I want to do it. This game being in London, it does make me question it a little bit more. But I told you last week, Ravens were not running away with the AFC North. This Ravens team is getting way too much hype, and I don't think their weapons are all that good. I don't think their defense is good as the media says, and I'm sticking with that. I'm not sure this Ravens team is going to ascend like everyone thinks, and I think this Titans front seven will be able to stop the run. The way to attack the Titans is you got to throw it deep, and you got to throw it often. I don't know if the Ravens have the dudes to do that. Like, Zay Flowers is a beast, but if you take him out of the game, you got a Mark Andrews who looks like he's like 70% this year. I'm just not trusting Lamar in this spot. Like, I think the Ravens win late with a field goal, but give me the Titans with the plus 4.5. If this wasn't in London, I would probably bet it, but just going to stay away from it. Next game, we got the Washington No-Names at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are minus 2.5. Falcons to win in the cover. I'm going against the grain. Last week, the money was on the Texans. I went the Falcons. And the Falcons, as the week went on, developed to my favorite bet on Patreon this weekend. And yes, it was a sweater. Was it easy? Absolutely not. But I just think Atlanta finds another way to win another game. And I worry about this Commanders defense. I worry about them because every single year they start peaking week 5, week 6, week 7. They play like shit the first 4 weeks, then they start playing good. I do think the Commanders defense has a good game, but I also think this Atlanta defense has themselves a day, and I think Sam Howell loses the turnover battle. And we got to give Rader a little bit of credit, man, and we got to give him a little bit of credit for what he did to the Texans. Falcons should have won that game by 2 scores, but they had 2 fumbles and Texans scoring position. I think the Falcons recover here. I think they get 2 in a row. Falcons winning the cover. I'm just not high on this Commanders team. Like, everyone was acting like Commanders against the Bears was some sort of lock of the year. Like, calm down. It's Sam Howell. It's Riverboat Ron. Falcons winning the cover. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are minus 2.5. Money, money, money. Money. Bengals to win in the cover. I was in a similar position last week. Bengals are on the road. Cardinals. Everyone excited about the Cardinals. I want Bengals money pick, and I'm going Bengals money pick again. Now, we have to look at the Seahawks with a little bit of an objective lens. And let me walk you through it. Do you think that Seahawks defense is as dominant as they were against the Giants, or do you think they're a below average unit at best? I think they're an average unit at best, and I'm not sure they get the interior pass rush to get Joe Cool off this spot. And we did see Joe's calf. It looked phenomenal. He was even scrambling. He scrambled in a little spinning Rooney and threw it deep. I was encouraged by what I saw out of Joe Burrow, and I'm going with him. And then I issued a challenge to this Bengals defense last week. They responded. Cam Taylor-Britt with the pick six. I just don't think this is a great spot for the Seahawks. I know they're coming off the bye. I know they're going to have some rest, and I know Pete Carroll's going to attack this game with verb and energy. I just think Joe Burrow's better than Geno Smith, and I like the Bengals in this matchup. I also think the Bengals play better defense. I'm not sure the Seattle pass rush is going to get to Joe. Like, that 9-10 sacks against the Giants is really, really deceiving. Bengals to win in the cover, make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the Cleveland Browns. Niners -5. Niners to win in the cover. Listen, we had Patreon users talking about this game for 2 weeks, and you know, I put the bet up for 49ers to beat the Cowboys. They were talking about Niners -3. Now this is up to -5. I can't bet it at this price, but I just don't think this is a good matchup for the Browns. Secondly, I'm going to go to the emotional status of this Browns team. I think this locker room might turn on Deshaun Watson. Hear me out. I mean, we heard he was medically cleared to play against the Ravens. He fucked us with that, but he also fucked his teammates. And when you do that, when you have a dominant defense and an offense that just isn't up to snub, that's when you see the locker rooms churn, and people need to keep an eye on that. And I'm just not liking this Browns offensive line being banged up, and I don't think the Browns defense, I think they're elite. I think they're damn good. I just don't think Shanahan's going to fall for their tricks, man. I think he's going to run it a lot. We're not going to see a lot of Myles Garrett hitting Brock Purdy. Give me the 49ers to win in the cover. And Deshaun Watson might not play. Didn't practice Monday. He's just a disappointment, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet. Get on Patreon, $5 a month. Come get this money with me. Link in the description. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Houston Texans. Texans are +1.5. Texans to win in the cover. I'm going against the grain here. And I started this Texans bandwagon, and I told you they're going to lose last week, and I'm not getting off of it. When I look at this game, man, credit to the Saints for laying an absolute woodshed type beating on the New England Patriots. But how much does that really count for? Like, are we saying the Saints are somehow better? Like, Derek Carr's shoulder is somehow going to be 100% health? I'm not, man. And I think the Texans will actually be able to throw the ball better in this game. I'm a little worried about Tank Dell. He's in the concussion protocol. That's harder to pass nowadays than it used to be. So that's the reason why it's not a money pick. CJ really needs Tank Dell. You saw the difference in that Falcons game. When Tank Dell got hurt, he just didn't have enough dogs with speed and athleticism on the outside. And the Texans defense has to respond here. Saints are going to run run it a ton. I don't think the Saints are going to throw it a lot. I think Carmichael ran it like 38 times against the Patriots. D'Amico and his boys will be ready. Texans winning the cover. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Miami Dolphins. Panthers are plus 13.5. Fins winning the cover. Same thing as last week. Same thing. You know, if you give me the 13.5, I'm saying they cover. And they're just too damn explosive. You do wonder what type of game plan Miami will have. I'm sure they don't want to show anything when they get to games that matter. But this Panthers team has just been terrible. And it almost comes down to an effort situation. On the other side of the ball, like, listen, the defense can't cover anyone. The pass rush isn't really consistent. And I'm not sure about Bryce Young, man. And everyone was hyping him up. And I was hyping up Stroud. And I'm just not seeing the performances. I'm not seeing the grit from the kid. And when you don't see the grit, that's when I start to raise an eyebrow, so to speak. Give me the Fins by more than 2 touchdowns. Fins winning the cover. Next game, we're going to the AFC South. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jags. Colts are plus 4.5. Money, money, money. Money. Colts win and the cover. But the cover, the money pick is on the 4.5. Now, listen, man, this podcast was built on betting the Jags in the right spot. And I misfired last week in that Buffalo game. I misfired. Your boy did it. It should have been a 5-0 week. But when I look at this game, man, I just see Minshew making more plays than the Jags. And I've been complaining about this Jags defense for 2 years. On paper, when you plug in Madden, the defense looks good. They should have a dominant pass rush, and they should be able to cover and be competitive. But they play so much soft zone, and when I look at Minshew, he's just going to take what the defense gives him. Was it pretty against Baltimore? No. But he made winning plays in the right time in the red zone, and I'm loving what Shane Steichen does. And I got to tell you, man, this Jags offense, I don't know what it is, but something is missing from last year. I know Peterson isn't calling plays anymore. Maybe that's the factor, but I think the Colts move the ball better offensively, and I'm not sure the Jags defensive line gets pressure. I think the 2 weeks in London helped them, but they're going down to Florida, baby, and this rivalry is always crazy, and you just kind of have to pick what the crazy outcome is. Crazy outcome is Colts plus 4.5, making a money pick. But I also think they win the game. And Jags haven't ran it good this year at all. And the Colts are a damn hard team to run it against. They're playing good football in the front seven. They're able to cover people. Colts are a sneaky, decent team, man. Colts to win in the cover, making a money pick. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Las Vegas Raiders. Pats are plus 3. I'm going Raiders to win in the cover, but please do not bet this game. Please do not bet this game. And under normal circumstances, you know I would be first in line with both hands raised to fade the Pats. But this Raiders team is an absolute discombobulated mess as well. And I don't trust them. I got the Raiders to win in the cover, but there really is no science. But we are really seeing the end of the Bill Belichick hoodie pixie dust. Listen, I made that call 2 years ago. I said it's over. I said everyone, it's turned into folklore at this point. Maybe McDaniels gets a big win. I'm not betting this game. I don't want anyone to bet this game. Raiders winning the cover. Not a lot of science. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions. Campbell at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lions minus 3. Money, money, money. Money! Lions moved at, they opened at like 3.5, 4. And once I saw this get down to 3, I have to bet it. Listen, man, I started this Lions bandwagon last year, and I'm not getting off of it. I know the BUCS have a better team this year. I know Baker has been making a few plays every game on third down that changed the landscape. But I don't know, man. When I look at this coaching matchup, I look at Ben Johnson, the best offensive coordinator in the league, against Todd Bowles, and I think that is the mismatch in coaching that moves this in the Lions' factor. I do think this is a dangerous spot for the Lions. And listen, teams lose in this league. Good teams lose to below average and mediocre teams every single week. But I think this Lions team, their defense is the difference here, man. And I don't think Tampa Bay will be able to run the ball. And then you're giving it to Baker in bad situations. This BUCS offense has been in bad situations every single game. And credit to Baker for making enough plays. I just don't think he does it this game. And I'm not sure how they block Hutchinson. And like I said, man, I don't think we've seen even close to the A- version of the Lions offense. I don't think they're as good as they were last year yet, but they seem to get incrementally better every week, and I think that's why they're a money pick against the BUCS. Lions -3, winning the cover, make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. Cards +6. I got the Cards to cover, Rams to win. And listen, man, I talked about this on the live call-in show Friday. I love what Matt Stafford is doing, Matt the Surgeon Stafford. But these prices on Rams games have been weird this year. Vegas has been almost bipolar with the way they're putting it. And the Cardinals +6, I think it's the spot here because their defense has been competitive. They did fall apart at the seams against Joe Burrow. Cards aren't a good second half team. But I do wonder, this Rams offensive line, Stafford was playing good football, and they were the reason why the Rams didn't score in the second half against the Eagles. It wasn't Kupp, it wasn't Stafford. Like, listen, I think the Rams win the damn game, but I think it's going to be close, and we got to give Jonathan Gannon a little bit of credit. His boys are going out there fighting and scrapping, and you got to give credit to that. Cards cover, Rams win. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Jets. Jets are +7. This is a tough one. I'm going Jets to cover, Eagles to win. I am not betting this game. And even the Eagles fans who follow the show, they've agreed with me. I don't feel like we've seen even close to the best version of the Eagles this year. They get to the red zone, and it's like they're not even trying to get 6 in the red zone. Like, you know, those drives they've had, and I just feel like this team is sleepwalking, and the secondary is very weak. But I don't think Zach Wilson is the dude to exploit that secondary. I think Jets score with a backdoor cover. Eagles win the game, but eventually, doesn't this Eagles team need a wake-up call? But they keep covering spreads and they keep winning games. So I'm staying away from it. I'll let you guys bet the Eagles. Next game, Sunday Night Football. We got the New York Giants at the Buffalo Bills. Giants are +14. I don't really know what to do in this game. If Danny Jones starts, give me the Giants with the 14. Not a lot of confidence. Bills to win. But if the Giants have to go to a second stringer, I think you have to take Bills to win in the cover here. And 14 is an awful lot, but isn't this just kind of what we get served on Sunday and Monday night every single year? Who was the smart guy? We were saying the full offseason, Giants are going to regress this year. NFL puts them on damn near every week on primetime. Bills win, Giants cover. Dude, I don't even know if I'll watch this game. The Giants are ugly to watch, man. Next game, we got the Dallas Cowboys, them boys, at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are +2. I like this game. I think it's going to be a good matchup, and I think Dallas has a bounce-back day, but not so fast, my friend. Chargers to win in the cover. I think this is a close game. I think this is a field goal game, and you never want to bet Brandon Staley in these situations. And if you look at every single Chargers game this year, specifically the Titans, the Vikings game, he did everything in his power to try to lose those games. And the coaching is bad. That's why this isn't a money pick. But I really like this matchup from the Chargers' perspective. I do think they can get a pass rush on this Dallas Cowboys offensive line. And there is a possibility Dallas isn't able to run it. We know the Chargers struggle year in and year out with stopping the run. But I got to say, man, I haven't been all that impressed with the Dallas run game this year. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying they're missing Zeke Elliott, but there does seem like a lack of physicality, power, and a bit of thunder in that run game. So you get Dak Prescott, and he's going to throw it a lot. And, you know, I like Brandon Cooks, but I feel like another option needs to emerge to help CD Lamb. On the other side of the ball, is there an injury hurting a team more than the Diggs brother out for the Cowboys? Ever since he's been out, teams have been able to throw it. I mean, we saw Josh Dobbs slinging it. And when you get to that point, I do wonder, do the Cowboys have any answers? Are they going to stick in this tight man-to-man even though they don't got the dogs to match up? I did think Dallas had great depth on defense, but if you stop Micah Parsons, or if you just minimize him and run the ball right at him, this Cowboys defense is missing something, man. Hit the like button, share the videos, the best gambling show on the internet. I hope everyone has a great week. Leave a comment. I'll be in the comment section.